So now we're going to see if we can compare strings to C strings in C++. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to declare a couple of strings. So we're going to use the string keyword. We'll create the first one. We'll call it string1. And then I am going to initialize it in the quote. So I might say something like first string, and I'm going to initialize it within the parentheses. We're going to create a second one. We'll call this string2, and we are going to initialize it by putting it in quotes without the parentheses, and then we're going to create a third one, str3. So we'll call them string1, string2, and string3, and then we'll just output the three of them. So for my print statement, I'm just going to put a header on it called strings, and then I'm going to separate the three, string 1, 2, and 3, by a new line. We'll force a new line between them, and then I'm going to keep this print statement. I'm going to copy it and use it over and over again just to see what's happening. So we should have my first string, my second string, and then my last string doesn't have anything on it. So how about if we assign one string to another? So we don't have anything in string 3, so let's set string 3 equal to, how about string 1? And then see what is in it. So I told you I was going to copy this one and I was going to paste it over and over again just so we can see what it is doing. So we can use the assignment operator to set one string to another. We did find out that I can't do that with an array, right? That is not the way that I copy one array to another, because all I'm doing is copying their base address. But it looks like it works when we are dealing with strings. So how about if we swap the content of two strings? So I'm going to say string2.swap. I'm going to, string2 is going to be the one that is going to call the method. And then whatever I put inside of here, str1, is what it's going to swap with. I'm pretty sure that I still have that print statement on my clipboard. And so we'll run it and see if we have indeed swapped the values of the first and the second string. So we first and second, now we have second and first. So we have indeed swapped the content of the two strings. We can actually concatenate things to a string. So let's see if we can concatenate to string 1. I'm going to set that equal to something like I am a string, and then we're going to use the plus sign to concatenate that with str string 3, and this should still be in my clipboard, correct? Looks like that needs to be a semicolon and not a full colon. And when I run it, let's see if we are indeed concatenating to string 1 some text at the beginning of it. So there it is. I can see the concatenation operator works well. So with C strings, we were seeing if we could access we're going to use this one and see if we can access, let me scroll down, see if we can access elements within a string with the braces just like we did with a C string. So I am going to just see out, I'll put a header on it that says that we're using the brace access, and then let's see if we can get string 3 and, I don't know, access element 5. And what would I expect to be element number 5 in string 3? I'm pretty sure I still have that on my clipboard. Oh, no, we didn't want to see out that one because we're already seeing out whatever element is element 5 in string 3. So once it prints it for me, we'll be able to count it up. So here is string 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 0, 1, and 2. R and S. All right, we might want to choose, when we are printing out element number 5, by the luck of the draw, element number 5 happens to be that space right there. So I might want to choose something besides element number 5. How about if we do element number 4? And that should get us There we go. That T, that would be element number 4. Very good. All right, so let's see if there's another way that we can access these. Let's see if we can use another method or function that will allow us to access that. So this time we're going to say the at access, and then we will do str3 dot at. And then I'm going to put an index in there. How about if we do index 3? I'm not going to put index 5 in there. And then we'll run it and see what index 3 is. I would expect it to be an S, which is the letter right before the T. There you go. So we can do at access, or we can do the brace access with strings. You're going to see that there is no at access for character arrays, but there is for strings. So we're going to see if there's bounds checking for either the braces or the at. We're going to do it the same way that we did before. We're going to do a try catch. And then inside of the try, I'm just going to copy and I'm going to put these two in there. And we're just going to comment out one at a time. How about if we comment out the second one? And then what we're going to try to catch, I know right now, is we can catch exceptions, and then we will just see out whatever that error is. All right, so let's run it and see what happens. So it's given us the value for R. So now let's change this from 2. We know that 2 works. How about if we change it to 45 and see if some kind of an exception is thrown or some kind of out of bounds. And now I can see what is on my screen, that we are getting an out of range exception. Now it didn't catch the exception, that bounds was not thrown and it was not caught because it's in the side of a try caught, but it most definitely rudely terminated my program. So I'm going to come down here and change this to out of bounds exception. We'll change it to an out of range exception. And this time I know that the braces or the brackets do not catch exceptions. Let's see if the at will. So I'm going to change this to 45 as well. I have my out of range error. And now when I run it, let's see if it will, if the at function will catch it. And if you'll notice, it said error. It threw an invalid string position. That is the message that was thrown with the exception that I caught. And then I was able to display that message using the .what method. So it seems like it's safer to be, if you're going to access individual elements, it's safer with strings to use the at method because it has bounds checking.